Welcome to the Healing and Deliverance Tree channel, where we support you in maintaining your divine journey of healing, prospering, and purpose. You are beautiful, created in the image of God. You're called. There's a war over you being chosen, but you're fearfully and wonderfully made. Here we will help equip you for that war, and victory is our only accepted outcome. Welcome to the Healing and Deliverance Tree channel. Blessings. Hey, guess what? It is Palm Sunday. Good evening. It is the evening of Palm Sunday, and I really hope that everyone had an absolutely gorgeous and beautiful and peaceful day. And just in case your day, unfortunately, just so happened to be not so great, almost kind of ties into the message that I'm here to share with you. I feel like I have something encouraging and hopefully helpful to share with you. And we're going to hop right into it. So just here recently, I was actually taking a few copies of my books to the post office to ship off and mail off, right? I have a book here, as I've shared on the platform, called The Tree of Life, Healing and Deliverance Prayer Book. It's a prayer and deliverance book for healing, okay? That can help you with many different mental, emotional, psychological, physical, and medical ailments and illnesses. And what I really want to get to is that as I was there at the post office to ship off a few copies, I was reminded of something that someone had shared, and I really felt that the Holy Spirit was bringing it back to my memory, and I feel like it will be very helpful for many of you out there. So the reason why when I was preparing the packages for the books to ship them out, I was reminded of where my life was while writing the book itself, okay? Now, this is a book, keep in mind, that's about healing and deliverance, right? Okay? And when I started writing that book, guys, I was in the middle of a healing journey, okay? Not necessarily so much as medical. The Lord had already granted me, healed me through a lot of that stuff and restored me for the most part. It was mainly life issues, personal issues, financial issues. At that time when I wrote that book, I was homeless and my life was in complete shambles. I was in a very dark and low place. And we're not going to get into details right now. That testimony will come out later, but I was not in a good place and I was not doing well. However, the Lord still came to me and asked me to write the book. Now, I'm getting to my point. This is at a time where, I was in desperate need of extreme, very serious help and rescue myself for my own life, my own well-being, my own safety. So, me more than anyone needed help, needed rescue, needed healing, needed deliverance, and yet the Lord was coming to me, asking me to write a book about healing and deliverance for others. And then subsequently after and while writing the book and finishing the book, he also had me serving in a healing and deliverance ministry. And so, the point I'm trying to make is that I had heard someone share a while ago before this happened that, we use this term wealth transfer, and that is where wealth is transferred from the Lord right into your life to bless you. And I think that we're all waiting on that, right? whether it be wealth inside of our health, our well-being, our mental state, our lives, our relationships, financial, you name it. It's like God's people are in need of wealth in many different areas and ways, and a transfer of that wealth to come into our life. Well, I had heard this a while ago that someone shared with her, and I'm passing this along to you, that the Holy Spirit had shared whatever wealth you are waiting on and in expectation of, while you're waiting for whatever it is you're in most need of and most help and deliverance of, or you need to be poured into yourself. Why don't you go to the Lord, or why don't you, in your waiting period, don't just be idle. Take it upon yourself to seek ye first the kingdom. And I'm going to give you guys a couple of examples. Say, for instance, you've been struggling with fertility, and these are just examples, guys. Let's say, for instance, someone out there is struggling with fertility issues, and you and your spouse is really trying, and you guys want to start a family and have a beautiful child, and that's something that you're believing the Lord for. He's probably maybe even promised you for that, and you're in the process of waiting for that treasure, for that wealth to be transferred into your life, right? You're having faith, you're standing in faith, you're putting, the efforts in and everything like that. Well, if you're expecting the Lord to bless you and grant you with a child, why don't you find ways where you can service someone else in the area of children? Why don't you go to the Lord? And this is just an example. Keep that in mind. Why don't you go to the Lord and ask them, how can I serve someone in need regarding children? If that is the specific area you are in most need of and you want most out of the desires of your heart, I'll give you another example. If you are waiting for financial wealth and blessings, why don't you think of ways that you yourself can bless others financially? Now, if you yourself are in need of finances, you may not be able to do a whole lot, and that's okay. Okay? Maybe you can only afford to make up 5 sandwiches at the end of the week and pass them out to 5 homeless people. It's not about how big of a thing we do. It's about if it comes from the heart, and if it's serving the Lord, and if it's coming out of charity. And when the Lord sees you move and give and be charitable and seeking how you can serve the kingdom, that is one way where you can expedite the arrival of your own blessings. Okay? We have this saying, and we say it all the time, and we hear it all the time, but it's you reap what you sow. So if you're expecting to reap a harvest of a child, of finances, to be able to move, to own a home, to get married, it doesn't matter what it is. Whatever you're in expectation for, you can expedite that process by you yourself sowing that for others and into somebody else. Now, I'm not trying to send you out there to go running all around and do any and everything for anyone. You definitely want to use this with wisdom, with caution, with frankly common sense in your discernment, but also some of you may have to pray to the Lord directly at how you can best execute this or carry this out. But it could be something so simple. Maybe you have health issues in a certain area, and you've been praying and believing the Lord to heal you of a certain illness or disease. Well, guys, why don't you find someone else who is suffering? Maybe they're suffering in a different area, and serve them and help them. It does not have to be anything massive or, dramatic. It can be in small little ways. Maybe a neighbor who she has mobility issues with getting her groceries in and out the house. Maybe that's something so little you can help with in the area of healing if you yourself are struggling in dealing with healing. Okay, I'll give you another example. Let's just say, for instance, you're starting a brand or a business or possibly even a ministry, and you're really waiting on the Lord to pour into you, to invest you, to send you supporters. If your main area is support and really getting yourself to the next level, why don't you look for ways that you can pour into and support others? Don't sit up and wait until you get everything you want and then say, oh, well, then I'll give, then I'll serve, then I'll support, then I'll help. If you're building and working and growing and being obedient, and you're just waiting to get to that next level, or you're waiting for that transfer of a blessing or wealth to come into your life, no matter what area, in the meantime, when you wait, Find out ways where you can sow the very thing that you're waiting on, because what you reap is what you sow. Okay, so if you want to reap support, why don't you go out there into the kingdom amongst brothers and sisters, amongst spirit-led, again, using your discernment. Why don't you begin supporting other people, and support will come back to you. You reap what you sow, right? It's a simple principle, but sometimes we get so wrapped up in our own needs. And I'm not, trust me of anyone knows when you're in the most need. However, you should not let that stop you and hinder you from blessing others, especially indirectly in the same area that you're waiting to be blessed on. You can expedite the arrival of your own blessing. And whenever your blessing does arrive, you can multiply and increase the gravity and quality of that blessing just by sowing that very thing into others. With me, I did not wait until my problems got solved, until I was taken out of a homeless shelter. I did not wait until my rescue and my healing and deliverance, until my prayers were fully answered, to begin serving. When I was the number one person in need, even though the harvest and the arrival of my own very blessing had not fully manifested yet, and even to this day, as I ship out books and have my healing and deliverance book, everything in my life is not perfect. My health is not 1,000 or on 10 or completely perfect. I still myself, even though I have been healed in many areas, and you can check out the testimony on my channel, healed from type 2 diabetes twice. I overcame it with no medication. Lost 82 pounds, no surgeries, no weight loss shots, none of that stuff, completely naturally, supernaturally. Reverse kidney damage, lowered cholesterol in a very short amount of time. None of this done through medication. Okay, this was all supernatural and spiritual with the Lord's help. And those are the type of prayers that are in my healing and deliverance book, whether it's sleep issues. I mean, you name it. I had it: insomnia, anxiety, depression. Okay, I could go down the list and keep going. But even though I have been delivered of so many more things, guys, I have a journey to go. But am I going to wait until I look perfect and am perfect and everything is going perfect for me before I pass on what I have so far to others, to sow into others? No. Okay, I'm going to start even right now, as I still have a lot of progress I still need to obtain. I have a lot of issues that are still not yet restored and fully healed in my own life. But guess what, guys? I'm already sowing into others and paying that forward while I wait in expectation for the completion of my own blessings. I hope that tip is going to really help you guys move forward and advance your own blessings. But bless yourself in the meantime. And when your blessing does arrive, you can assure that it's going to be paid forward with interest. You're going to have your blessing be multiplied beyond what you were expecting. There's more than just receiving a blessing and expediting a blessing in return as a benefit. When I was serving others while I was at my most vulnerable point and in the need of the most rescue, that was one of the most fulfilling, joyful, happiest times of my entire life. It was so much fun. Okay, I had such a great time, even though I should have been depressed, even though I should have been mentally insane and put in a mental hospital based on what had been done to me and what I was going through. But none of that happened. Why? Because I was living a life of purpose. Okay, I was walking and operating in my calling. I was walking in the will of the Lord. So every day, even though I was living inside of a pit, even though I was living inside of literally hell, okay, I had joy, sincere joy and happiness every day. So there's a lot of emotional and mental benefits to serving others, even as we wait to be delivered from our own storms, even as we wait to receive our own blessing. Just for those of you who are interested in getting a copy of the book that the Lord had me write on healing and deliverance, whether for some reason when I was almost done recording, I heard the word sleep deprivation. So when you have sleep deprivation, that's not just, I mean, we all go through, periods in our life where we don't sleep that well, but sleep deprivation is when someone literally is being deprived of sleep for an ongoing long amount of time. And that is very serious because we need our sleep in order to function properly, and we need our sleep in order to restore ourselves, okay, from everything that we go through during the day. So somebody out there, I really heard the word sleep deprivation, and I believe the Holy Spirit is encouraging you, if you're dealing with that you want to obtain a copy of my book, because I have a specific prayer on sleep issues, okay? And I will leave all the information and the link for the book down below. I'm also led to mention that it's really interesting that this came back to my memory as I was packaging up the books to ship them off, and I took my little trip down to the post office to send them. Somebody out there, and it may be more than one of you, I know at least one person, one or more people, the post office is going to hold significance for you. And so this message is going to be really, really specific and important for you. I don't know who this is going to apply to, but I just got the feeling that the post office is going to have some type of very significant meaning for you. So if you come across this video and you're one of the ones that it applies to, comment down below, share with us, and let us know I'm one of the ones. So this is the Healing and Deliverance Tree channel. I'm so honored that I could just come with you and pass that along. I hope it really blesses somebody out there going into Holy Week and of course Resurrection Sunday. And I will talk to you next time.